Hello guys, my name is Nick, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make one of my favorite holiday desserts. We're going to be making it a lot healthier than it would be on a normal holiday, and there's no real holidays in sight other than a bulk. So I'm bulking right now. That's basically a holiday to me, and so I'm not worried about, making this as efficient as possible, but I'm trying to make it pretty efficient. So I got some ingredients that are, midline. I'm sure you could find like some pretzels that are, maybe a little bit healthier, whole wheat, something like that. But I'm not too concerned with doing that. So let's just go ahead and hop right in. So these are the ingredients. First off, the main one is the pretzels. These are Snack Factory, like little pretzel chips. I chose these not because they're the healthiest, but because I like them. I'm sure you can find a whole wheat alternative, maybe some gluten-free kind of pretzel or something, but really I'm not too concerned. So I got those. I got 2 packets of Quest protein. We're going to be mixing this with Baker's 100% unsweetened baking chocolate. This chocolate has really good macros. I think this whole box is 720 calories. And if you know anything about chocolate, if you looked at a chocolate bar, this is like several chocolate bars worth of chocolate, and the sugar on this is really low, aka 0. So this is really great, although it doesn't taste that great. So we're going to be using this as a filler, so it's going to give us a lot of volume added to the chocolate. And so we're going to have protein mixed in there. We're not going to have sugar because these, I'm pretty sure, yeah, they just have 1 gram of sugar. So it's going to make it taste a lot better. And I'm also going to add some stevia in there, which I don't have on the counter, but I have right here. Stevia in the raw. You can use your own kind. We're going to be experimenting a little bit. I don't know how much we're really going to need. We're just going to fill that out. And whew, here we have some Quest bars. It's not a chocolate pretzel unless it's covered in something. So I got my 2 favorite cookies and cream. We got 1 white chocolate raspberry. Never tried this one. And we have a cookie dough, which is also a fan favorite. We're going to be blending these up separately and using them to dunk the chocolate pretzels in, just so we'll have some more protein in there. Why not, right? And it'll make them taste better and they'll look better. So alright, so we've gotten a pretty good consistency here. This is the whole block of chocolate, the whole box, as well as 2 Quest packets and about a cup of milk. I didn't really get a chance to measure it because I had to do it rather quickly. But you basically want to get it to a good consistency where it's somewhat drippy, but not, too drippy. This might be a little bit too drippy. I might have added too much milk. But I think this is going to be alright. You're going to want to mix it constantly, otherwise it's going to burn on the bottom of the pan. It's going to ruin all of the chocolate. And once you get it to this consistency, you can either turn the burner off or set it very low, or if you have a warm setting, that'll keep it warm enough that it won't, kind of coagulate when we want to start dipping stuff in. So I'm going to go ahead and start dipping now. Alright guys, so I got everything out of the freezer and it came out really perfectly. A couple of tips, this is my first time making these that I'd like to throw out there. You might want to use a microwave instead. Having to stir this constantly makes it, a really difficult process. Whereas if you put it in a microwave, the chocolate is, a lot easier to deal with. That might be something that you want to do. What else? I think as far as tips go, that might really be it. You don't have to use a whole block of chocolate because you're going to end up making all of these took me about 2 hours to put together. Or at least I think it was at least over an hour, in between an hour and two, which is good if you have time during the holidays to kind of do this. Now I know it's a holiday treat, but yeah, that can be a bit time consuming, so maybe you want to use like 3/4 of a block or maybe half, cut it down to half a cup of milk and 1 Quest packet. And I ended up not using any stevia because it was just fine the way it is. If you want a pretty good look, this should do. Well, as you can see, we have our cookies and cream here, we have our raspberry white chocolate, and we have the cookie dough. And they're all pretty good. Now you're probably wondering, what are the macros on these? And I was actually pleasantly surprised when I saw this. I started thinking, man, these macros are going to be really bad. But they're actually pretty good. Altogether I made 66 cookies, or pretzels I should say. If you just made pretzels, if you just covered them in chocolate, you would be looking at around 25 calories per pretzel, which isn't too bad for a chocolate covered pretzel. But if you coat them on all sides like these cookie dough ones, which are really my favorite, if I had to give a suggestion, I would say definitely go with cookie dough. Cookie dough is the best. I mean, not cookie dough. So I apologize. Cookies and cream. It's my favorite Quest bar, and it makes the best ones. If you coat all sides of them like these, you're looking at each of these being 53 calories. Seems kind of high, but it's really not that bad, especially if you're bulking. 53 calories, 2 grams of fat, less than a gram of sugar, 5 grams of protein, and 6 grams of carbs. And that's pretty good for a treat like this. I think that's actually pretty great. I'm pretty pleased with that. If you're only coating one side, such as these raspberry ones, you're looking at, let me see here, we're looking at 31 calories, 1 gram of fat, no, very minimal amounts of sugar in these, 2 grams of protein, and 4 carbs. And it depends on how lenient you are with them. Like with the cookie dough ones, I got a couple more of these, or a couple less of these because I was a little bit more generous with the toppings. You just got to count up the macros yourself, but these are really good, and I suggest everyone, try it for yourself. One last tip is definitely make sure that you put them in the freezer first. I find that the ones that I put in the freezer are a little crunchier than the other ones, but overall all of these are pretty soft. I think you need to get a thicker pretzel if you want it to have that really crunch. Using the chips was a fun idea, but they don't really keep that snack consistency. As you can see, they just kind of break, which is not bad. They still taste great, but it's not exactly the same as the crunch that you'd want from most pretzels, but definitely a delicious treat. I suggest you guys all try it. Until next time, thanks.